As of late this afternoon, Greg, 19 suspects were arrested. The group is facing 47 felony charges. West Virginia State Police need your help identifying a man involved in a snatch and go at a local convenience store. Now take a look at this video that you're seeing right now. It's from Smith's Paquette Corner Grocery Store in Piney View. There are 51 trees here. This, incidentally, is our WVVA tree, and I'm going to put a plug in now. If you come to this event, vote for our tree. I'm going to put the plug in because I can. This year, the number of riders is expected to increase by 15%. More trails are also expected to be added as this attraction continues to make its mark on the state's tourism industry. Here's a thought-provoking question. Are you ready to die? I mean, you might be ready spiritually, but are you ready financially? Because you can't take it with you when you go. A shocking scene at Princeton City Hall this afternoon after a man takes his own life. We'll tell you what happened. Plus, the rise and fall of a Republican star. Former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell appears in court today for his arraignment. We'll take you there. Good Friday evening, everyone. I'm Gil McClanahan. Thanks for joining us. Greg Carter is on assignment. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Beckley. Now, we have just gotten off the phone with Beckley Mayor Bill O'Brien, and he tells us that he has named a new police chief. Captain Lonnie Christian assumed the duty of acting chief at 2 o'clock this afternoon. He replaces longtime chief Timothy Deems. Here's what he had to say about the decision. Quote, I felt Christian reflected my management style and communication skills and would better represent my new administration. Tim will continue to serve as a valuable member of my team on the Beckley Police Department, unquote. Christian will serve as acting chief until his confirmation hearing by Beckley Common Council on Tuesday. Fire crews from 3 departments battled a mobile home fire this afternoon. It happened on Groveland Drive just outside of Bluefield, West Virginia. A man living in the mobile home was able to make it out safely. Now, due to the hilly terrain, firefighters had to call in a state road worker to help clear the snow off the roads. The cause of the fire has not yet been determined. The home is a total loss. A man walks into the Princeton Municipal Building this afternoon and takes his own life. City officials say it happened in the area where residents pay utility bills. The person shot himself in the head in front of some city employees. Investigators are unsure of a motive. This afternoon, City Hall was closed, and a meeting scheduled for 6 o'clock that is actually taking place right now has been moved to the Fred Gilbert Center on Thorn Street in Princeton. And that meeting is with Princeton City Council and the Building Commission. At issue is the gift of a warehouse and property on B Street from a Princeton businessman. But here's the catch. City leaders must move all city offices to the location to accept the gift. Supporters believe that gift of that property would be an investment in Princeton's future, while others believe that getting the structure ready for city offices could cost millions of dollars.
Trying to get contracts to build out the building, what it's going to cost us, getting the financing established to go forward with it down there. So we're looking at several more years of trying to make that happen versus we're ready to go into the bank building now.
And Mayor Wilson is referring to the former First Community Bank building on Mercer Street in Princeton that the city has already spent thousands getting ready to move City Hall there. Former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell and his wife pled not guilty today in separate arraignments in federal court. Bob and Maureen McDonnell were both released on their own recognizances, with trials scheduled for July 28th in U.S. District Court in Richmond. The McDonnells are jointly charged with 14 counts of illegally accepting luxury gifts, vacations, and loans from a man whose business they allegedly then promoted. Each spoke briefly in court this morning during separate appearances before a judge, saying they understood the charges and were entering the pleas themselves. West Virginia State Police need your help identifying a man involved in a snatch and go at a local convenience store. Now take a look at this video that you're seeing right now. It's from Smith's Paquette Corner Grocery Store in Piney View. The man there appears to be heading over to purchase some items at the register, and when the cashier rings him up, he reaches over the counter and grabs the cash from the drawer and runs. Now, if you know who this person is, you are urged to call state police in Beckley or Crime Stoppers. Tonight, some area sheriff's deputies are worried for their safety because of spotty radio coverage in their county. Summers County Sheriff's deputies say their radios are out of date and unreliable in some remote areas that they cover. But updated ones are sitting in their offices, but they're unusable. WVVA's Kristen Connor has our story. The 911 director says he thinks they'll be able to start safely using the newer radios by the summer. Shifting gears to weather, we of course are wishing summer were here. Chief Meteorologist Jana Brown standing by with a first look at current conditions. Jan, it's still cold outside.
Yeah, Gail, very cold after just...
Well, coming up next on WVVA News, it's a story that you're going to hear right here first. Eric Robinson with the Second Chance Learning Center joins us next for a big announcement. You don't want to miss it. Keep it here.
Morning, Sheriff.
Mercer County Sheriff Don Meadows leads a group of suspects from the roundup to magistrate court. The suspects are facing charges related to the delivery of cocaine, heroin, and hydromorphone.
I ain't sold no dope to nobody.
Really? Then why did they arrest you?
I don't know.
First time ever getting in trouble.
What did they say you did?
Delivery of a controlled substance.
Did you?
No, sir.
Investigators spent several months developing their cases. Adding the group of suspects is made up of street-level users and distributors.
Several are obviously repeat customers, people that have been doing this and violating law for quite a long time.
Officers with the Southern Regional Drug and Violent Crimes Task Force made the arrest. They believe they have made a dent in the war on drugs in Mercer County.
We arrested these people. I don't know how many more there are out there that's going to step right up and take their place. So, you know, it's just hard to say. It's going to be a hit. It'll be a hit. I hope that it's a substantial hit.
Late this afternoon, state police sent us pictures of 4 more suspects facing drug charges. As they're still looking for these folks as part of the roundup. To see those, head to our website, WVVA.com. And if you happen to know where any of these suspects may be, call police or 911. And I'm Gil McClanahan. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Tonight, a mom and dad are in jail, separated from their children because where they were staying, the kids were handling and eating human feces. It has many wondering how and why something like this would happen.
It was awful nice little kids. They were, "Hey, Lynn," as they went down the road.
Lillian Rose lives in the Ashland community of McDowell County, where a case of alleged child abuse has rocked the neighborhood. Investigators from the Sheriff's Department say the Perry family was staying at this house, and inside, their 2 children were handling and eating human excrement, adding the feces were in piles and also rubbed over the bed. The parents, Michael and Crystal Perry, are charged with child abuse, creating substantial risk of injury.
The kids they would walk the kids constantly up and down the road. They had a little stroller they strolled, and I'd give them ice cream and popsicles, and you know, they were good to their kids. It's just, I guess their living situation was the problem.
Would somebody do something to beautiful children that can't help themselves and that's looking for help and guidance from them? Why would they do that?
Detectives believe drugs could be a possible reason for the neglect of the children.
Well, anytime children's been abused, I mean, it goes right to the heart because, you know, I know how much I love mine and love children. They're helpless. They are looking for help and guidance.
A family friend of the homeowner where the family was staying declined to be interviewed on camera, but did say they were the ones who called Child Protective Services because they believed the kids deserved to be in a better house.
It's a nasty complaint, a nasty situation.
And bond for Michael and Crystal Perry was set at $100,000. This is the sound of West Virginia getting an economic shot in the arm. Over the last decade, the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System has become an important part of the state's tourism industry. Today, there are more than 500 miles of trails in 5 counties. The number of visitors has also grown.
This is our first time at Hatfield-McCoy. We've heard a lot about it and came down to see what all the buzz was about, and by golly, I'm beginning to understand. This is really nice.
Well, first year we were open, we had around 3,000 visitors. This year we project around 35,000 visitors. 80% of those guests are non-West Virginia residents. And we've developed into one of probably the premier off-road systems in the country.
Lusk says for every dollar the state invests in the trail, there is a return of $1.65 in sales tax revenue. Many areas in southern West Virginia are also dependent on the trail system and riders as a vital part of their local economy.
This trail is exactly what we're trying to achieve, which is a diversification of West Virginia's economy.
It means economic development, it means jobs, it means a way that we can showcase the state of West Virginia.
This year, the number of riders is expected to increase by 15%. More trails are also expected to be added as this attraction continues to make its mark on the state's tourism industry. Reporting in Boone County, I'm Gil McClanahan.